Coming up, all eyes on Tropical Storm Michael now as it continues to make its way through the Carolinas this afternoon. Plus, local firefighting crews are on their way to help in the post-hurricane response in the Florida Panhandle. And as several people wake up without power across the Panhandle, local utility crews are on their way to help restore it. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon. Now Tropical Storm Michael. The storm is still moving north while crews are just starting to assess the widespread damage and destruction it's leaving in its path. The powerful storm being blamed for at least 2 deaths with the hardest hit area, the Florida Panhandle. Governor Rick Scott is urging people to stay off the roads to allow search and rescue crews to get around safely. Omar Jimenez reports from Panama City.
In the daylight, people are really getting the first glimpse at the destruction that Hurricane Michael has left behind. You can see this shopping plaza just behind me and how widespread this destruction actually is. All of this debris creeping through and bursting through what used to be windows here in a grocery store and a bakery as well. Then as you come down this plaza, you can see what I've been showing people really throughout today is this office space, at least what used to be an office space, reduced to rubble at this point, featuring things like highway signs that have blown in from who knows where really at this point. And this was not a lightweight building. It was built with brick. It was built with cinder block, all of it completely destroyed by these winds that came through. When Hurricane Michael made landfall just east here of Panama City, it did so with wind speeds of 155 miles per hour. Yes, a Category 4, but just a few miles per hour shy of a Category 5. Now I want to show you what it looks like just across the bridge from where we are here in Panama City. This is a boat yard. Boats thrown everywhere in the strength of this storm that came through, and the boat warehouse in particular completely destroyed. It looks like a bomb went off on that particular property right there. So where do people go from here? Well, when you talk about officials and crews, search and rescue crews out throughout the day today, trying to make sure no one else is in any life-threatening situations. Power restoration also going to be among the top priorities for officials as they work through this. But for residents who are waking up in many cases to destroyed buildings and destroyed homes, at least partly for those that survived here, the question for them is going to be, how do we move forward? Do they stay and work on the recovery process, or do they choose to leave and live somewhere else altogether? For those that have evacuated, the calls still are for them to stay evacuated because, at least for right now and today, it is still too dangerous for them to return. Reporting from Panama City, I'm Omar Jimenez.
Well, check out this incredible video of Michael. A storm chaser shot the video while driving through the eye wall of the hurricane. It was hitting Mexico Beach. You saw the rain and the winds, and then the blue skies and the calm of the eye of the hurricane. You can see the wall of clouds surrounding him. Lucky to get through that alive, as we've seen. John, your reaction now that we have a new day and we're starting to see really the expanse of the destruction up there.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me on a much larger scale of what we saw in Charlie here, you know, but I mean, just tremendous damage there. It's just, it'll take a long, long time for that to be rebuilt, and some of the entire electrical infrastructure along the coastline is going to have to be just completely replaced. I mean, just like they did, you know, in Puerto Rico and other places suffered major damage. There'll be weeks, if not months, without power.
Yeah.
So
the
it's
storm
terrible,
reminds
terrible
me,
situation.
it's like it had the winds of a Charlie, but then the storm surge of other storms, and when you combine those two, the damage was,
Oh, just tremendous. I have to say, though, the Hurricane Center track forecast on this was just phenomenal. I mean, they nailed it within 5 miles, 24 hours out. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It is.
Intensity forecasting a little dicey, but you know what? It was pretty good. I think the message got out. Unfortunately, on storms like this that develop in Gulf waters, you just don't get a lot of time to react, and I hope the death count doesn't go up. Sarasota Bay webcam shows we had a few scattered showers and thunderstorms around, still do, and that's all in part due to Michael. Some of the wind flow around Michael. We'll be talking about that in detail in a few minutes. Now a 50-mile-an-hour storm. It is rapidly hauling toward South Carolina, toward North Carolina. It's in South Carolina now. It was in Georgia earlier this morning. Now it's in South Carolina. By the end of the day, it'll be in North Carolina, and it'll be off the coast tomorrow. And then, believe it or not, it's going to intensify, not as a tropical system, but as a post-tropical system, kind of a hybrid, sort of that perfect storm scenario. It'll merge with some colder air behind a cold front and develop winds of 65 miles an hour or better as it races toward either the UK or perhaps Spain or maybe Europe itself. Amazing how long-lived this storm will be and how fast it is moving. You can see some of the cloud cover kind of rotating up and around that storm, and we have across our region kind of a little complex that we'll discuss about why that's kind of just sitting there. It's produced some pretty good rainfall totals, actually, that little line of storms. You can see 2-inch rainfalls, 1-inch rainfalls, especially from about Venice southward. That will be sinking southward through the day, but we'll still put in that chance of rainfall till around 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And then clearing and some delightful weather coming our way, Scott. We'll talk about that in a sec.
All right, John, thank you. First responders from Sarasota County are headed north to help with Hurricane Michael response. 34 first responders from Sarasota, Venice, and North Port loaded up and traveled to Ocala overnight. The 5 ambulances that were dispatched are heading to Panama City today. The fire engines, 5 in total, are in Tallahassee waiting to be deployed.
The ambulance strike team is up for a lot of different assignments. They could be moving people from assisted living facilities that have no power to shelters. They could be responding to emergency calls. It all depends on what the needs are when they arrive. And then for the fire engines, there's a lot of search and rescue missions to be accomplished. They have to go door to door to make sure that everybody is safe.
The crews are expected to be there for about 7 to 10 days, and then another group of first responders could be dispatched depending on conditions. Firefighters, dispatchers, and paramedics from Manatee County also answering the call for help. Firefighters from 6 districts are now part of an engine strike team that's on its way to Tallahassee. The dispatchers from the Emergency Communications Center are headed to Bay County to help those in Panama City. And the ambulance strike team has also been deployed for staging in Ocala. Florida Power and Light crews from the Suncoast are now on their way north to help restore power in areas hit by Michael. Crews rolled out as early as 6 o'clock this morning from the FPL Service Center on McIntosh Road in Sarasota. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us now in the studio with a look at why these crews are helping those devastated by the storm. Marla.
Scott, right now, 5 crews made up of 15 FPL workers are in Nassau County, which is about 20 miles north of Jacksonville. Those crew members are now at a service center. They've helped restore power to nearly 22,000 customers who lost electricity during Hurricane Michael, which is now a tropical storm. Before daybreak, the 5 crews pulled off from FPL Service Center on McIntosh Road in Sarasota. One FPL worker tells us crews will be assisting FPL customers first, then they plan to assist any other customers who may not be FPL customers. He says from photos he's seen of storm damage, he expects it to be a tough restoration because of the amount of downed trees, power lines, and poles. He did say anytime they respond to power outages, they first assess damage to make sure workers and customers are safe. He says paying it forward is what it's all about for crews headed up north.
Well, we're privileged to go help. A lot of these companies came down and helped us during Irma and our time of need, so we're happy to go help them. And we're going to restore power and restore lives as fast as possible and as safe as possible.
And about 3,000 FPL customers, or workers rather, from FPL all over the state has responded to storm victims in need. Right now, close to 1,500 FPL customers are still with no power. According to FPL's outage map, close to 5 million customers have already been served. Before the storm made landfall yesterday, 1,300 FPL workers and contractors were staged at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds on Fruitville Road. Those workers are also up north assisting with power outages. Scott?
All right, Marla, thank you. And here's exactly why you should be extra cautious around those power lines that have been downed, especially after the storm. This is video from Albany, Georgia. You can see a hanging power line caught fire when the storm was passing through yesterday. Flames covered a big stretch of the line. Remember to stay away from downed or broken lines and leave repairs to the experts. Duke Energy, which provides electricity to parts of the Eastern Panhandle and the Big Bend region, has donated $50,000 to the Florida Disaster Fund. Governor Rick Scott activated the fund yesterday. All of the money donated will go towards disaster-related response and recovery. Donations are made to the Volunteer Florida Foundation, which is a charitable organization, and those donations are tax deductible. There are other ways you can help those affected by this devastating storm. There's an urgent need for food, water, and assistance of all kinds, but first, make sure you do your homework before donating to a charity or volunteering.
First, you'll want to support experienced disaster relief organizations. To support organizations that actually have boots on the ground or a way into the affected area.
Give.org officials say they make sure the organizations they list are the real deal. They also recommend to hold off on sending supplies. Instead, they say send cash. You can also donate blood, which could save a life. The Suncoast Blood Bank is currently asking for both blood and platelet donations to help blood banks in the affected areas. Another idea, foster or adopt a homeless or lost pet. For the latest on Michael and other breaking news and your forecast here in the Suncoast, make sure you have our new apps for your phone. You can get updates on important news and traffic information. Just go to your app store, look for the words WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast news, a polio-like illness that causes paralysis is affecting children in several states. I'll show you the new tools that lifeguards are using to get ahead of the growing show-related incidents in the area.
We get it, you're busy. But what about those moments when life slows down? It only takes a minute to get election ready. Check your voter registration status. Make sure your signature is up to date. Review your sample ballot. Know your election dates and voting options. So take a moment. Be election ready.
I'm Secretary of State Ken Detzner. Get ready, get set, vote.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. And right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
I think what's going to be so striking is the difference between today's weather and tomorrow's weather. a huge change will come about. First of all, this number right here, the dew point value, is going to be very, very different. Unbelievable dew point of 80 right now. I mean, even in the dead of summer, 75, 76 degree dew points make it feel sticky, but 80, that is positively oppressive, I think. And an 85 degree air temperature actually has a feels like temperature of close to 100. That's how influential that dew point value is in how the air feels. West wind coming in at about 9, just tons of moisture thrown our way, of course, by the strong winds associated with Michael. 20% chance of showers increasing to about 30% as we head into the second half of the afternoon, but that is kind of isolated in one location. Here's what's going on. We have this big ridge of high pressure out in the Atlantic. That's what helps steer Michael up toward the Panhandle. We have a trough of low pressure back to the west, and of course we have Michael continuing to spin around. Where Michael's winds are spinning around and where this high pressure ridge is spinning, we get a convergence of winds. That convergence of winds sets up kind of an uplift in the atmosphere that creates the showers that are ongoing. Now, that will eventually work its way southward, and we'll start to see a front approach, which will certainly twist our winds around and bring us some really pretty delightful weather once that front moves through here and our winds switch to the north. We'll see some clearing take place. We'll see some lower dew point air move in, and it will feel much different. Here's the result of that little trough of low pressure, that little convergence zone of winds. It has been kind of persistent shower and thunderstorm activity throughout the morning. It's sinking southward, but slowly, and that accounts for some pretty good rainfall totals, actually surprisingly good as we head through the morning hours and into the afternoon. It's finally being pushed southward, and eventually it'll end up down around Fort Myers, clearing our area. But Venice got a lot of rainfall and points south as well. Here's what's left of Michael continuing to spin around, producing some pretty good rainfall up near Raleigh right now, heading northward into areas of the coastal regions by tomorrow, and then kind of exploding in intensity. The rainfall futurecast for us for the rest of the day shows there'll be some pockets southward, mostly in Charlotte County, of some rainfall totals that might exceed over the next 6 hours an inch, perhaps. We'll watch this cold front advance. It'll be here tomorrow. It'll come through pretty quickly, and then all of our rain showers go away. High pressure builds in. The atmosphere dries not only at the surface but aloft, and we go from cloudy, humid, rainy to completely sunny, low relative humidities that allow the nighttime temperatures to bottom out into the upper 60s, mid 60s in inland areas under full sunshine. And on Sunday, when enough of that dry air filters in, we'll lower our temperatures a few degrees. It's not going to get cold. It's not that kind of cold front. But it will lower the temperature a few degrees, making it still feel pretty comfortable because of the dry air. And Saturday morning, I think you're really going to notice the difference in the feel of the air because of that dry air that's in place. It'll be cool and crisp when you wake up, relatively speaking. Humid today, few earlier showers, and then partly sunny tomorrow. Still have some good winds associated with Michael, producing some tropical storm force gusts and sustained tropical storm force winds all the way up through North Carolina and into coastal regions of Virginia by tomorrow morning. For us today, the wind speeds are coming down, but still the wave action is rough. High surf advisory, rip current advisory, and a small craft advisory up till 4 o'clock tonight because of that wave action out there. Moderate chop on your bay and inland waters today. 30% chance of showers today. Sunny and nice tomorrow. Lower relative humidities, nighttime lows in the 60s, but it's only a 2-day event at this time of year. The humidity comes back, and so too does the chance of showers next work week. Scott?
We'll enjoy it while it lasts. Thank you, John. In Health Smart, health officials are baffled why there's been a spike in cases of a rare polio-like disease that affects the nervous system. It's called AFM. The disease is rare but has drastic consequences. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 38 cases of AFM have been reported through September this year in 16 different states. Kelly Stauver's 3-year-old son Camden has it and now has a partially paralyzed arm and lungs so weak he needs oxygen.
It's extremely scary, and just, the reality of the unknown.
Currently no cure for AFM, and health officials aren't sure yet what causes it or how it spreads and why there's been an uptick in cases recently. Among the symptoms of AFM, facial droop or weakness and slurred speech. All right, time for lunch now. Let's head over to the kitchen and say hello to our guest today, Executive Chef Mark Alton from Fins at Sharky's in Venice. Mark, great to have you back in our kitchen today. What's on your menu?
Oh, good morning. Well, I'm going to be doing a fried lobster tail Milanese style today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The future of saving people from shark attacks may already be here. A new high-tech shark detection system is being tested off the coast of Newport Beach, California. The pilot project is now underway. Greg Lee shows us how it works.
This buoy off the Balboa Pier in Newport Beach may look ordinary, but it's creating a virtual net in the water. It's using high-tech sonar to detect sharks.
You can't see through it and you can't see it under it. So this is just another tool that gives people eyes under the water that they've never had before.
Craig Anderson is the founder of Australian company Smart Marine Systems. They created a clever buoy which uses multi-beam sonar technology to create 3D imagery of what's below the surface.
It will provide information about that animal, its size, its location, and the direction that it's heading in.
And its swim pattern, which is how the computer knows if a shark is close. The system then sends an alert to lifeguards so they can verify and warn swimmers or even close the beach.
Provide warnings to swimmers before the shark and them share the same proximity. So it really just speeds up the process a lot.
The launch comes just 2 weeks after a teenage boy was attacked by a shark in Encinitas, and 2 years after Maria Korsmaros was nearly killed by one in Corona del Mar.
Knowledge to say, okay, something's out there, what is it? And if it is a shark, let's be prudent, let's be proactive, and let's keep people safe.
That's Greg Lee reporting. Clever Buoy also records weather and water temperature data as well. This is a 60-day trial. All right, let's get back to the kitchen now. John is there with our guest today, Chef Mark Alton from Finn's at Sharky's in Venice.
Yeah, speaking of water, Sharky's right on the water.
Right there.
And you were just saying that it's been weeks since you've noticed any red tide.
It has been. It's been really nice down there. So I think come on down and enjoy it.
Come on down. Speaking of enjoying it, I think I'm going to enjoy what you're cooking up today. This is one of my favorites.
We're gonna cook some lobster tail. I'm gonna bread it and deep fry it, and then make a nice Milanese sauce to go with that.
Great.
So I got my lobster tail that looked like this. I've already pulled the shell off it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to cut across the back of it a little bit so it doesn't curl up so much when we fry it.
Oh, why? I never knew that. That's a good little tip.
And
going to dredge it in a little flour there?
Seasoned flour.
Okay. What do you season it with?
Salt and pepper.
All right. And then what is that? Is that
egg and milk and panko breadcrumbs.
Okay. Ooh, I love panko. It's neat how panko, just like in the last, I don't know, what, 5, 6, 10 years, has become like the standard now.
Yeah,
it's
really nice and crispy.
So good.
There, and I got 2 of these, so we got plenty to eat for lunch today, John.
Oh, yum.
And I'm going to make my sauce over here. I'm going to take a little bit of garlic first.
And you're deep frying here in cast iron. You like cast iron?
Yeah. I do for my home, at least. You know, at work we have a special device for this kind of thing.
Right.
But the way it just totally surrounds it, it's nice.
Good recovery time too on the oil there, I guess. So you're cooking up a little garlic here,
Got
right?
some garlic going in here.
Okay.
We're gonna give it just a touch of crushed red pepper.
Nice. Good touch there.
I like a lot of that myself.
Mm-hmm.
We're also gonna use some capers in this dish.
Oh, it smells so good already. Now adding some tomatoes. There you go. There's the mayonnaise is starting to come together now.
Let's see how's our lobster tails
And
going.
you say this is going to be on your special menu item down there?
Right. We're running a price fix menu right now for a restaurant week. You get a 3-course meal starting at $29, going up to $49, and we also have some specials on wine to go with it.
Great. And
So
a lot of different choices here, it looks like. Okay. Great.
Fresh lemon juice.
Yum, yum.
A little bit of white wine. And then we're going to put some whole butter in here.
There you go.
Just let that simmer down just a little bit.
You actually use the cold butter here as kind of a thickening agent, don't you, in this sauce? Oh, there you go. It doesn't take long to deep fry a lobster.
No. Well,
and I tell you, it tastes so good.
Those are going to be nice.
That looks awesome. And what else do you add to the sauce there?
That, a little bit of fresh parsley is going to go in here.
Okay.
And then we're going to heat our pasta up in the sauce.
Oh, nice. And as you heat up that sauce, I want to remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go on on your computer there, click on the dining link page, the dining button on. It'll take you right to the page with Mark Alton's video instructions. Then you plate it up, a little spaghetti on the
put that
plate
on
there.
The bottom.
Oh, nice. And the lobster right on top.
And we'll put one of these lobster tails
I
on top
tell you
of
what,
that.
I am so hungry right now. I'm going to tuck right into this.
And then we're going to just put this hot butter sauce over the top.
Check it out. It's at Sharky's down in Venice, and come on down, enjoy it. It's beautiful down there, really gorgeous, nice sunsets. And over the weekend, the weather is going to be spectacular.
It will be. It will be.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Yep.
Where's my fork? We'll be right back.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hut hut! It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
So today is a big day for us when it comes to truly helping people and trying to prevent further loss of life.
Coming up, we'll look at dramatic video showing the trail of destruction left behind from Hurricane Michael. Plus, today's failed rocket launch in Kazakhstan is a reminder of how dangerous space travel can be.
You're watching ABC7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back now to new drone video into our newsroom showing the wide path of destruction Michael caused in the Panhandle. Michael, one of the most powerful hurricanes to ever hit the United States mainland. It destroyed homes, leaving piles of debris and empty lots. Shopping centers are wrecked. Falling trees killed at least 2 people in Florida and Georgia. In Panama City, roofs were peeled away and homes were split open by fallen trees. More than 380,000 homes and businesses were without power at the height of the storm. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Panama City Beach.
As the sun rises on the Panhandle, we're getting our first up-close look at the devastation Michael left behind.
Undescribable. Hail.
This hurricane was an absolute monster, and the damage left in its wake is still yet to be fully understood.
Stunning drone video out of Panama City shows buildings and a school ripped apart.
So many lives have been changed forever. So many families have lost everything. Homes are gone, businesses are gone.
Michael's historic winds, crumbling hotels, toppling trees, and downing power lines. More than 700,000 now without power across at least 4 states.
We were hiding in the closet, and all I could hear was a lot of wind, and I thought the roof was going to come off.
First responders desperate to reach those in the hardest hit areas.
Mexico Beach took the brunt. That's probably ground zero.
In Mexico Beach, where Michael made landfall, our Ginger Z saw 155-mile-per-hour winds, literally blowing a house away.
That is where the house used to be.
The storm flattening the town just below her window. Some residents don't know what's left.
Everything that I have for my wedding is in my house. Which is in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's
damage.
Probably flooded and gone.
Amid the destruction, there is an uplifting story. These baby kittens had been in the attic of a home when the roof collapsed, but they managed to survive.
They survived Hurricane Michael.
We talk about those dangerous conditions. Behind me, you see a downed power line that's fallen directly into standing water. And it's situations like that and worse that make authorities urge everyone to remain sheltered in place. Maggie Bruley, ABC News, Panama City Beach, Florida.
More than 50 American Red Cross volunteers from the region have already packed their bags and are making the trip north to aid the victims of Hurricane Michael. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now with that story. Jess?
Scott, out of the 53 Red Cross volunteers that are making the trip from the region, 12 of them are from right here in Sarasota County. They're heading north to a staging area in Tallahassee first. Then from there, they'll be assigned to a specific location to serve. Jim Faith started his journey this morning, leaving from the American Red Cross headquarters in Sarasota. He's one of many local people dropping everything to help those in need. Faith and his team of volunteers will help residents with anything they need, such as access to food and water, health care, and even transportation. Faith has been on the Red Cross response team for more than 15 years and says this may be the worst natural disaster he'll see.
It's serious, one of the most serious that we're going to deal with. Worse than Florence, worse than Harvey. The flooding, the damage is mammoth. And right now, Tallahassee has absolutely no power. It means Panama City has no power. You're talking millions of people that can't get gas, can't go to the banks, can't get money, can't use their credit card.
There are still 11 first responders from the region, not first responders, American Red Cross responders that are in North Carolina assisting with Hurricane Florence. So there are a lot of local resources still out there helping different areas of the country. Scott.
We're thankful they are. Thank you so much, Jess. No swim advisories are up at all Sarasota County beaches. It includes all of the beaches from Longboat Key south to Manasota Key. This is due to the high amount of bacteria in the water at those beaches. Those beaches are still open, but the swimming is not recommended there. Venice Police Department reports the South Jetty remains closed and will stay that way until further notice. Barricades are up because of unsafe conditions. Once the area is safe, though, the Public Works will reopen the jetty. Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission says tests of water samples show red tide levels have dropped along parts of Florida's east coast from Boca Raton to Palm Beach. Results from samples taken in Jupiter are expected back later today. The Jupiter area was a red tide hotspot last week and registered as the highest concentration in South Florida. Red tide is normally limited to the Gulf Coast, but it has made its way around the peninsula to Florida's east coast. Tropical storm Michael churning up something unusual in the Carolinas. Dozens of blue button jellyfish are washing ashore on beaches in Topsail Island and Surf City, North Carolina. But experts say despite their nickname, they're actually not jellyfish. They are typically found in tropical and subtropical waters in the Atlantic, and they do sting and cause irritation if you are touched by one. So, pretty unusual sight, but you never know what these hurricanes are going to churn up.
Yeah, never heard of that. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. We are, of course, here very fortunate on the Sun Coast.
Yeah, we are.
Just minimal damage. And as we head into the next couple of days, you'll never know we had anything like a hurricane in the Gulf waters, because it is just going to be so pretty, so beautiful as we have our first front of the season kind of moving through. Kind of the combination between the high pressure ridge that is out in the Atlantic that steered Michael, and Michael's flow is causing a kind of persistent little trough of low pressure to slowly sink southward down the state, and that has led to persistent showers as well. Casey Key webcam getting a pretty good view of that. I mean, it's been mostly from Venice southward, and it has been a very slow moving system. You can see Michael kind of spinning around off the Carolina, on the border of South Carolina and North Carolina right now, the center of the circulation. And to the south of that extends kind of an arm of that circulation that has set up that kind of semi-stationary trough of low pressure. It is sinking southward, but it's taking its good old time. Take a look at the line of showers right there, and if you put it in motion over 6 hours, and it's only moved about 20 miles. So it's a very slow line of showers sinking southward. Not much in the way of a severe weather threat for this one, just a chance of seeing some thunderstorms for the afternoon hours in mostly southern parts of the viewing area. We'll go with about a 20 to 30% chance of showers over the next 6 hours or so, decreasing as we go through time. And then overnight tonight should be a pretty nice night, actually. We'll end up with fairly starry skies tonight and tomorrow night as well, as Jupiter, Mars, and Saturn and the moon all kind of line up on the southern horizon just after sunset. So it should be a very pretty sky over the next 48 hours or so. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Following up now on a story we broke to you this morning, an American astronaut is alive and well after the rocket carrying him and a Russian cosmonaut into space suffered a failure. The two men were able to land safely back on Earth, and now the investigation begins into what went wrong. ABC's Kenneth Moten is in Washington.
New images of Russian cosmonaut Alexei Ovchin and NASA astronaut Nick Hague back on the ground safe and being treated.
And there is liftoff.
The two men blasted off in Kazakhstan for the International Space Station. Suddenly, the booster rocket speeding towards space at nearly 5,000 miles per hour failed.
There has been an issue with the booster, and we're standing by for information.
The capsule carrying the American and Russian ejected from the rocket and landed safely hundreds of miles away from the launch site.
We are now hearing that they're in communication with the rescue forces on their way to the capsule and that they're in good condition.
The mid-flight failure marks an unprecedented mishap for the Russian space program, which has been dogged by a string of launch failures and other incidents.
Аварийная система спасения.
Russia's deputy prime minister says the failure is now under investigation, and manned launches are being suspended until they figure out what happened, which means there's no way to get astronauts or cosmonauts to the space station. No word if the current ISS crew will extend their mission. They do have an escape module to get back to Earth.
We need to fix that.
This is Hague, a Kansas native, as he prepared for his mission at the Johnson Space Center in Texas.
Growing up as a little boy, staring up at the night sky, and wanting to just explore the unknown and figure out what's out there and go find new things.
Russian state news is reporting a possible cause of the rocket booster failure. Engineers believe there was some type of blockage that caused the engines to shut down. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Many cities across the country and the world offer guided tours, and until now, there was no such service in Sarasota. Well, a local entrepreneur has begun Discover Sarasota trolley tours. Starting later this month, visitors or residents who want to learn more about Sarasota can take one of these 4 guided tours. Options include a city theme, a circus theme, or in time for Halloween, a ghost tour. There's already a Friday night happy hour tour as well. Tickets start at $35. Discover Sarasota CEO Tammy Hauser says she was surprised there wasn't something like this already here.
When I moved to Sarasota 3 years ago, I wondered why there wasn't a city tour that told about all of the interesting arts organizations, history of Sarasota, like there is in Savannah or Charleston or Key West.
Discover Sarasota also has a gift shop inside its trolley cottage near the corner of Fruitville and Osprey. The store includes vintage Sarasota t-shirts, books, and memorabilia. For more information, you can look for this story on our website at mysuncoast.com. Still to come in your Suncoast News, dozens of jewelry items being pulled from the shelves nationwide because of a toxic metal. What to watch for? Coming up.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I feel happiest when I'm out enjoying my favorite things, like spending time in my garden. That's why I need a Humana Medicare Advantage plan.
Many Humana Medicare Advantage plans cover everything from emergency care and hospital stays to doctor office visits and prescription drug coverage. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,900 on average on their prescription costs. Humana has a large network of doctors and hospitals, plans that include vision and dental coverage, and most plans include Silver Sneakers Fitness and a rewards program, all for a $0 monthly plan premium in most areas.
Now I can be happy and healthy and keep enjoying all of my favorite things.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide and see how a Humana Medicare Advantage plan can help keep you enjoying your favorite things.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on MySuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at MySuncoast.com/dining.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
85-degree air temperature. We have a dew point value super high at 80. So the feels like temperature with an 85-degree temperature is almost 100 because it's so thick out there with humidity. West wind still comes in at about 9. 3 p.m. temperature will put it at about 88 with a 30% chance of rain showers, mostly to the south, mostly around the Charlotte County line and points south of that. And then we'll reduce that to 20%, if that, by 7 p.m. Might be totally gone by 7 p.m. And we'll go through the night pretty rain-free and nice. Boy, what a difference a day makes, huh? Take a look at the wave heights now. Remember yesterday we were talking about wave heights of 30 feet and better. Now we're down to about 4 or 5 feet. It is taking a little while for them to all settle down, and we do have a rip current advisory and a high surf advisory and a small craft advisory up till about 4 o'clock tonight. After that, I think it will probably be allowed to expire, at least the small craft advisory. We'll watch the continuation of this little trough of low pressure. It's actually where winds kind of come together and create the updraft necessary in this warm, humid air to create the showers. And we've got this big ridge of high pressure, which was one of the things that steered Michael to the north up through the Panhandle, and kind of a little weakness between that high pressure ridge and a frontal boundary back to the west. And the circulation around Michael is creating this kind of persistent feature that's been the focal point for showers today. It'll slowly sink southward as high pressure begins to build in behind this cold front that'll move through here. And that's going to change things up pretty nicely. Winds will start to shift around tomorrow to the north and then eventually to the northeast. That'll draw down some drier, much drier, not so much cooler, but a little bit cooler air. And for a couple of days anyway, it's going to feel really nice until that wind kind of directs itself out of the east or southeast, and then our humidity goes right back up again by the time we get to, well, Monday for sure, but maybe even as early as Sunday afternoon. So there's our little trough of low pressure, that little persistent wind collision zone, and it's creating the showers that we're seeing kind of persistent, now moving through parts of Charlotte County, sinking southward. Northport still getting a little bit of light rainfall, but the heaviest of the stuff now sinking toward Fort Myers. We'll watch this frontal boundary approach. As it does that, again, our winds start to shift. They'll go from west to northwest initially, then eventually to northeast. As the high builds in, drier air sinks southward, and that really does change things up. We'll go from a humid day today with those few showers around to a sunny and less humid Friday. Beautiful Friday, actually. So it's still hurricane season. And we still have 3 storms that we're looking at, Nadine, Leslie, and Michael. And that's pretty rare for this time of year in October. It hasn't happened since the 50s, and we're still watching them. Nadine's about on her way out, though, and Leslie's just kind of meandering out there. Michael rapidly moving out into the open waters. So we have a west wind coming in at about 5 to 10 this afternoon, becoming northwest at about 10 tonight, and then eventually becoming more northerly tomorrow. That's giving us 4 to 6 foot seas into moderate chop, and as I mentioned, small craft advisory, high surf advisory, and rip current advisories all up till 4 o'clock tonight. A couple of tides to talk about. We had a 9:17 low tide. High tide doesn't come till 3:17, so we're kind of right in between those two, with a low tide to follow this evening at 8:48, and I think things will be substantially calmer by that time. We'll look for lots of sunshine around tomorrow. Daytime high about the same as today, but it'll feel a lot more comfortable. And tomorrow's nighttime low into Saturday morning will be in the 60s. It'll feel crisp, cool. And then as we head into Saturday, temperature may be down just a little bit. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the humidity returns. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. One other update on the local effects of Hurricane Michael. The South Jetty in Venice, told you earlier that it was closed. It is now back open, so conditions have improved there. The scope of Hurricane Michael's rampage is starting to come into focus. In Panama City, streets are filled with downed power lines and buildings have had their roofs completely torn off. Russ Jones is in Panama City with a look at the destruction there.
Yeah, we're here in Panama City Beach. This is actually a really popular spot here on Thomas Drive. This is where it meets up to Front Beach Road. You've got Pineapple Willie's, Lake Town Wharf. A lot of people come here, and that's why I want to show you something. Take a look at the damage. This is the fencing that goes around the parking lot. This is at the Sunbird condominiums. You can see the parking lot is full of water. The security guard station is completely ruined over there. But let me keep showing you over here. All of this is down on the ground, and that leads up to the big damage. Look at the top of the buildings up there. The outside of the walls just completely ripped off. Parts of the roof are completely gone. Just a complete mess up there. Those winds were so strong that this building had a hard time holding up to that. But I can tell you this, it's a beautiful day here in Panama City Beach, and residents, they're already out, they're starting to work on things, and they said today is the first day of a long cleanup process. Reporting in Panama City Beach, Russell Jones with the Raycom News Network.
In consumer news, a warning about jewelry. A cancer-causing metal has been detected in jewelry on the shelves of national retailers, including Ross, Nordstrom Rack, and Papaya. The testing done for the nonprofit Center for Environmental Health shows jewelry sold with women's clothing was nearly pure cadmium. The testing was on adult jewelry from stores in the San Francisco Bay Area, but results found 31 examples that were at least 40% cadmium. Most of the jewelry was from Ross, which says it has addressed the issue with its supplier. Extended exposure to cadmium can cause cancer and reproductive harm. Amazon is taking to the skies and adding additional planes to help one of the world's largest retailers get deliveries across the country. Amazon will be wheels up out of March Air Reserve Base in California, making deliveries through the air. Amazon will be allowed up to 5 flights a day and no overnight flights.
They had a need for additional flights that they couldn't fill at the Ontario airport. And since we're so close and have multiple distribution facilities in Moreno Valley right across the street from our airport, just kind of was a natural fit for them.
Amazon officials say regular flights out of the base should begin by the end of the year. Coming up, Will Smith reveals the live-action poster for an upcoming Aladdin movie. Stay with us.
Blue 32, Blue 32, hot, hot. It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
For the best car buying experience, go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota, where you always get better prices and a bigger selection, like KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $22,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
It's an unusual pairing, but today President Trump is having lunch with rapper Kanye West. According to the White House press secretary, the two are having lunch to talk about things like manufacturing, gang violence, and prison reform. West is also scheduled to meet with senior White House advisor Jared Kushner during his trip. West faced fierce backlash over his appearance on Saturday Night Live late last month when he delivered a surprise pro-Trump rant and then claimed he would run for president in 2020. Well, here it is, the first poster for Disney's remake of Aladdin. Will Smith revealing the poster for the live-action movie and says he can't wait. Smith plays the genie. He wrote on Facebook, "Let me out, can't wait for y'all to see me blue." Naomi Scott will play Princess Jasmine, and the film will be directed by Guy Ritchie. Aladdin was set to premiere in May. Never wonder what it takes to get in costume for Halloween Horror Nights? Universal Orlando sharing this video of how they apply all the makeup to one of the actresses who plays a witch in the popular attraction. As you can see, it's a very extensive process. Halloween Horror Nights is going on now on select nights through November 3rd. And this year, the theme park is bringing together stories of the most notorious creatures of horror and then taking them to the next level with haunted houses, shows, and scare zones as well. That's pretty scary.
That is cool. Yeah, that is cool.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. Our next news coming up at 4 o'clock. Until then, have a great day, everyone.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Shop online anytime at VeniceHonda.com on US 41 South.